Welcome to Education 101 with your host, Eric Wolfram. Education 101 is about the amazing education community we have in the greater Spokane area. We highlight the outstanding programs, teachers, supporters, and opportunities of the education community in the Spokane region. Education 101 is brought to you in part by STCU. Here's Eric.
Education 101. I'm your host, Eric Wolfram. Looking forward to today because today we're going to be doing a little district profile. And today I've got Dr. Jake Dingman with me, who's the superintendent out at Oakesdale, Oakesdale Nighthawks. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Eric.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this. And the idea behind these district profiles is to really talk about some of the districts that we have out there and some of the great things we have going on in their districts. And so I'm excited to have Jake here for the first one because I know that Oakesdale has some amazing things going on.
Yep. We're pretty awesome, I've got to tell you.
I'm thinking you guys are. So let's start with Oakesdale. Tell us a little bit about Oakesdale first, community where you're at, and maybe a little bit about the school.
Sure. So the Oakesdale Farmington School District, as it's technically called, is south of Spokane, about 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. It's a rural community, big farm town. Oakesdale itself has about 420 citizens, and Farmington has 110. Okay. And so, we're small, obviously. Sure. The school itself has 133 students, preschool through 12th grade. 133. And I count the preschool in my numbers just to make us sound big. But so, like I just said, we serve ages 3 through 18. Wow. At the building, and then we do have our Oakesdale Learning Center, which is the district-owned daycare. Okay. And so that serves infants through 12 years old, and it used to kind of be where we housed our after-school program before we moved that to the school. Sure. But a lot of our younger kids, the preschool, kindergartners, some of the first graders, they'll go there after school and before school.
Gotcha. Absolutely. So 45 minutes down there, I think one of the things that I think about with Oakesdale is, the windmills and everything that goes along with it as I'm driving down 195 there. So let's talk about some of the things that you guys have going on at the school. I've gotten the chance to work with you guys for a lot of years, and I know that you guys have some amazing things going on. So what are some of the things we want to highlight today?
Sure. We've got a lot going on at every grade level. And I'll just start kind of in the chronological order of our grades.
Great.
One thing I'm really proud of is what I think most districts would call the early childhood program. And our program really starts at the Learning Center. Our Learning Center teachers work with our preschool teachers. That's nice. Just for the basics of learning how to hold the pencil and start to write their letters. And as they hit 3-year-old preschool, they're kind of ready to go. They know what a book is. They know what some school supplies are. They know how to act in a hallway in a school, just some of the very basics.
Those basics are huge, and how nice to be able to have that so close and be able to start that process off a whole lot earlier.
Oh, yeah. And we see it. Our 3-year-olds come to school 2 days a week, and then our 4-year-olds come every day.
Really?
In the mornings. Wow. For half days. And we love having the little kids around. And one of our points of pride, I think, is when you see our 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds walking down the hallway or eating lunch with the seniors in high school. We don't separate, we don't segregate in any way as far as age levels. They're all together in the hallways, they're all together in the lunchroom, wherever. And it's just something we feel is exciting. It's pretty unique to us.
Well, that should be. That should be. I think it kind of gives a little pride to the older kids, too, to be able to take the younger ones under their wings, maybe, and kind of show them the ropes, if you will. Yeah. That's great.
And, our preschool is tuition-free. We want it to be available to everybody.
Nice.
And so we bus them, we get them there, we take them home. It's just something we're really proud of. It's a strong program, and we get them there, and when they hit our all-day kindergarten program, they're reading, they're writing.
And they're ready to go.
They're what I would say is ahead of the game a bit.
Do you have most families that live down there, or maybe it's all, that use the preschool program as well?
We have,
and I guess the Learning Center as well.
Yeah, we have a lot that, from an early start. Our Learning Center is the only daycare locally in town. So
So
We-
that kind of helps.
We have a strong program there which hooks them
Sure.
into the district.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference. And we filter them on through
Mhm.
with the intent of keeping them.
Yeah, well, and that's exactly how it should work. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. What else is going on?
Moving into the elementary, we have our what we call the primaries. It's the first, second, third grade.
Mhm.
And we have it set up a little bit non-traditionally. I have 2 teachers that work with the 3 grade levels.
Okay.
And then it started out with a full, you would call it a multi-age, multi-grade level classroom. Just really focused on developmental abilities. And kind of no matter where the kid was, you know, we had a group for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're thinking about reading levels,
Sure.
one first grade student might be reading at a 3rd or 4th grade level while another one's still trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so we developed the program around that in reading, math, science. If they need to be challenged, they were with a group that was challenged. So there might be a group of first, second, and third graders
Right.
in every level.
Mhm.
And the idea was to kind of flow them all through, and
Sure.
the groups kind of being fluid. In the last few years, we've moved away from that a little bit.
Mhm.
It's more of a traditional combination 1-2 class with a 3rd grade separate,
Okay.
but there's still a lot of intermixing.
Right.
Depending on what the project is, if it's a big science lab or
Mhm.
just something unusual that might be going on.
Be able to mix them up and do some of those things.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost that seems a little on that proficiency side, which is kind of nice sometimes to be able
Yeah.
to say where are you at, and
Mhm.
let's make sure you're challenged at that point
Right.
versus let's wait until we get everybody to the same spot and move it forward. So I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Do you think that's easier to do? You know, from a rural school district, is that something that there's a little more leeway to be able to do some of those things, or
You
is
know,
that a misconception?
we've had no trouble doing it,
Mhm.
and it's just from our own perspective.
Right.
The community loved the idea. We've done it this way for about 9 years.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's just something we've been able to have great success with.
Right.
You know, by the time our students move to the 4th grade, they've had 1 year of the state testing already.
Sure.
Our results are 90 to 100% proficient.
Which is amazing.
So the system works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we're
proven.
we're able to do, in addition to breaking it up with the developmental grouping,
Mhm.
we have a para in there assigned to students who might need extra help reading.
Right.
Some one-on-one time, even for 10, 15 minutes, or just one-on-one practice.
Which is great and so important, I think, to have that extra adult in there that's focused on that intervention piece of
Correct.
saying, let's do a little extra work here and
Right.
have a little more individualized time.
Right.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
One thing I kind of look forward to in the next year or two is, our 4th, 5th is a standalone combination class.
Okay.
And I would like to loop it in with that 1st through 3rd grade
Oh, really?
and just continue that whole philosophy really all the way through the elementary school.
Yeah.
It's something the staff and I have talked informally about, but we've never
Sure.
put fully into place.
Yeah.
We'd really like to see that happen.
See that happen.
And just, again, with the idea of not only meeting the developmental needs of the kids, but just having those 5th graders working with the 1st graders and everything in between. We really like that.
I like that idea too. I mean, I think probably one of the most common pieces is the reading buddies.
Yep.
Bringing the 5th graders
Yep.
to work with the 1st graders and so on. And so I think that'd be interesting to take a look at how would that work with, you start putting some of those other academic areas in there as well.
Right.
To be able to think, okay, how are they working together and doing some of those pieces? That would be a nice little flow for a whole
Right.
elementary.
And we're able to do different projects like that. Our high school science teacher occasionally will have a lab where
Mhm.
they'll go over and the high school students will teach the lab or
Oh, very
teach
nice.
a science
Yeah.
concept, whether it's chemistry or physics,
Uh-huh.
or have the elementary school come over to the science lab when they're showing off an experiment or something
Right.
like that. So there is a lot of that just to expose the younger kids to what the big kids are doing.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure they love it because I'm sure there's a lot of brothers and sisters that are the older
brother,
kids
sister,
too.
cousins,
Yep,
everybody.
absolutely. Absolutely. So elementary wise, it sounds like there's some great things going on. We got through that 4th grade or end of 4th grade.
Yeah.
What's going on at that? What's kind of that intermediate level?
Something that's fun for us is 4th through 8th grade, all are part of our band.
Oh, really?
It's just,
oh, yeah.
they're in band.
Mhm.
There's, I think I don't know how other schools do it, but our kids, they're in band.
That's just how it is.
That's how it is.
That's great.
And this year we brought back. She's retired 3 times. You know, I brought her back out of retirement again, Mrs. Owens, for our band teacher. And
wonderful.
And so we're real excited to have her back. And with her returning, she found a grant that got us all new instruments.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
really,
every student has a brand new instrument.
That's amazing.
And it's pretty cool to see the pride our students are taking, and
are they?
You know, just in how to care for the instrument and carefully playing, sometimes too carefully playing.
Well, I'm sure sometimes.
But so our, you know, starting in the 4th grade, they're playing in band concerts. They're having to demonstrate that part of performance and demonstrating their skills. We do on occasion have the 5th graders in with the middle school as part of our pet band.
Oh, really?
You know, it's just
kind of as their.
We need numbers, you know,
right.
And just help give them that powerful sound in the gym.
Well, and you find a good one, you keep her.
That's right.
Keep her around or keep her coming back, right? Don't let her get away.
That's right. Luckily, she's local, so I can keep pulling her back in.
That's exactly right. Keep pulling her back in. Well, you know, and I know that that is a big area of pride. You guys have taken part in the Spokane Symphony's Seed program with the ESD a couple times.
Right.
You know, and brought a large group all the way down to hear some of the different instrument groups along the way, and it seems like that the kids always are very appreciative and get the opportunity to actually see and hear from the musicians, but then also see the Fox as well.
Just, you know, just with being so rural, and while we're less than an hour away, a lot of our kids don't have the opportunity to get to Spokane or wherever else to see that kind of thing. So when we have an opportunity like the Seed program, get them into the Fox Theater, we do. Yeah. We really do want to get them up there so they can be a part of it at least at that point.
Well, and I think it puts that relevance piece into, you know, why am I doing band? What are some of those things? And I know that it's a community thing that they're all doing that, and it's the expectation along with it, which is a great thing when you start to take a look at the research around you know, band and music, and then the academic side as well that kind of goes along with that. So, so very exciting as you kind of go through that. So what we're going to do is let's take a little break here. Then we'll come back after the break. We'll continue to talk about maybe some of the different things that are going on. We've kind of covered that elementary school, got a little bit into the middle school, but I'm sure
we'll keep
there
working.
might be some more things along the way, and then kind of that overall of what's going on out in Oakesdale. So join us back in just a few seconds. Thanks.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy, enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
To find the right home for you, you'll work with your realtor to compare the properties you're interested in, analyze the market, and figure out a reasonable offer price. And now, here you are, ready to make an offer. Yay, you! Here's how it works. First, you'll complete an offer sheet which your realtor will then present to the owner. Sometimes, a nice note to the owner can help your offer stand out. Butter them up. Tell them how much you love their garden, that it reminds you of gardening with your grandmother as a child. Do not mention you're gonna bulldoze it and put in a pool. The owner may accept the offer, reject it, or counter. It's important to be in close contact with your realtor during the negotiation process so any changes can be reviewed. Your realtor is like your consigliere, and that makes you the dawn. Once your offer is finally accepted, there are usually some contingencies that must be met in order to keep the contract alive. Inspections are totally common in real estate transactions. They include termite checks, surveys to determine boundaries, appraisals to determine value for lenders, title reviews, and structural inspections. This stuff is mind-numbingly fascinating. But you know what's even more fascinating? Actually getting your new house.
And welcome back to Education 101. Again, I'm your host, Eric Wolfram, here with Dr. Jake Dingman from Oakesdale School District. So, welcome back. And we were just talking about some of the great things happening in Oakesdale. And we really talked about the elementary school, some of the cool things you guys have going on there. And then we got into middle school and I would say the intermediate, and we're talking about band and some of the cool things, new instruments with the band, and the fact that everybody takes band, which I love. Again, as we were talking during the break, the connections between academics and the music, the research shows that that's so strong, and I think that's why, as you said, you've got such high scores along the way too. So what else do you guys have going on? We said we were going to kind of go chronologically, so we should be about middle school.
That's
now?
right, we're in middle school. So
all right.
One thing, small towns typically are characterized by their athletic teams, the small schools.
Yes,
and we'll get into athletics a little bit. We're good. I'll put that out there. But one thing that we've really tried to focus on was, we're there for opportunities for kids to learn.
Right.
And hook them into school and kind of what we need to do to hook them into school. And while we do our part at the elementary level with the traditional specials of music and PE and art, we, I think, ramp it up a little bit at the middle school level where they still have they're in band, obviously, they can take art, but we also start offering the drama activities through some of our elective classes.
Good.
The sports are available, and then we have what we call clubs on Fridays, and it's just to give kids another opportunity, because we don't have time necessarily in our daily schedule to have an experience with something else. And so teachers will offer. We have one that does roping, how to rope, and different computer programs, just some things a little different.
And are those during the school day or after school?
It's the last 30 minutes on Friday afternoons.
Last 30 minutes on Fridays. Very nice. Very nice. Sounds like there's interesting, so the roping, computer activities.
And what I do with that is I ask the teachers, what's an interest of yours?
I love it.
That we don't necessarily teach on a normal basis and offer it. And a lot of them do say, kids, what do you want to have? What do you want to do? Others have something they want to teach, like the roping.
Right.
And so we go with it.
I think it's a great idea. When I first started teaching middle school, we had exploratory, which was very similar. Very similar, and you get to see kids in a whole different environment, in that interest, and they get to learn a little bit more about you and your interests. Love the idea. Love the idea. So that's that piece. Drama. You guys doing drama as well?
We do.
My son is a drama kid, and so what kind of things do you guys have going on?
So in our middle school schedule, there's one. It's, I think, 5th or 6th period every day that is broken up by quarter. And so one quarter they'll have art, one quarter they'll have an ag class, a FFA program. Another quarter is say art ag. They'll have drama, and the last one has family living.
Oh, okay.
And so we focus more on job and budgeting skills and that sort of thing. More, it's different than the traditional home ec class that we may have had. They do learn some sewing and some of the basics of that.
Tater tot casserole.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And so that's kind of what I think we would fall back on, the exploratory.
Sure.
But they get that drama quarter.
Right, and I think that's I love seeing the arts back in schools. I think some schools have kind of gotten away from it, but I know at least from my son's point of view, the confidence that he's gotten through their drama program and the public speaking that goes along with that too. So I love to see that the arts are still back in there. So that's cool. Yeah,
they're important down there. And elementary school, we have a big Christmas program that's a musical.
Yeah.
Middle school, they have the drama class, and then at the end of the year in May, we do what we call Arts Fest. And I think it would be a scaled up talent show.
Nice.
And Kids
Nice.
audition. The drama class, the middle school drama class does do a performance.
Uh-huh.
But kids can come in and play their instrument or sing or
Very nice.
read their poetry,
Yeah.
whatever. So,
Kinda
we
highlight everybody.
We really put an emphasis on the strong art piece also,
That's
but
great.
and not just band or
Mm-hmm.
we try to give them some variety so they can find their niche.
Right, which is wonderful.
And our academic side also strong.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of follow the high school is very strong academically with the running start in the classroom. We kind of filter that down to the middle school through offering. Most of the classes are taught through the pre-advanced placement.
Oh, really?
Just that
Okay.
methodology.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe every staff member has been trained
Mhm.
on how to use that specific curriculum or just the methods of inquiry-based education. Just
Right.
questions, the Socratic seminar type of thing.
You
or
bet.
Not just asking the one-word yes or no questions, but
Yep.
they have to explain and defend and
Really get that depth of knowledge piece in there,
Yep.
and being able to have that discourse along the way.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
And it carries into the high school.
Mhm.
We offer 6 college in the classroom math classes right now.
Wow.
Starting with a 0 hour and
Uh-huh.
just everything from, I think it's Math in the Modern World, I think is its title, through advanced calculus.
That's
you know.
amazing.
And
Yeah.
and then we've offered the college level art classes,
Mhm.
advanced placement art classes.
And with that, do kids get, so we all understand,
Mm-hmm.
with the audience and everything too, with that, kids get college credit, is that correct? Is it, because with the AP, they have to take a test.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And score a certain amount, and then depending on where they go, get credit
They might get the
based,
credit.
they might get a credit.
Yeah, the college in the classroom's kind of the way to go in my philosophy,
Mhm.
based on the fact you earn high school credit and college credit
Right?
for taking that class at
Yeah.
the high school, in the high school.
And it's at the high
And it's
school,
at-
not like a running start.
they don't have
where
to
you
travel.
Have to travel somewhere, which would be very challenging for your
Right,
kids.
it takes some while.
Yeah.
So, and then we do have some AP classes right now in art,
Mhm.
English, where they do at the end take
Yeah,
take the
take the
test
test.
and hopefully meet whatever college's requirement they
Mhm.
are looking at.
Yeah,
But it's still it's just an advanced level as far as
exactly.
what they're expected to do and produce.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. I think that's a pretty cool advantage when we start to think about crediting,
Mm-hmm.
being able to get that high school credit, but then also be able to get some college,
Right.
some college credits as well.
Right.
So,
And then 4 years ago, we brought back, it was funny, in Oakesdale, for 40 years, they did not have a agriculture-led program, also known
Really?
now as career and technical ed.
yeah. And so you guys brought that
So
back.
we brought it back with a
Mhm.
full FFA and everything else. And I think our count right now is, of the 38 students that can take an ag class,
Uh-huh.
35 or 33 do.
That's amazing.
And,
yeah.
we have a new teacher this year, and she's brought in a new philosophy, and the kids really are enjoying it.
Are they? That's good.
Some different activities within the FFA program,
Uh-huh.
and they built or made the Christmas wreaths and the centerpieces at Christmas. They had to make
Nice.
them, they had to sell them, they had to do the whole marketing
Absolutely.
piece.
That's part of it.
A lot of the business end of it.
Uh-huh.
Right now they're working on their creed competition, and parliamentary
Mhm.
procedure is about to begin. So
Yep.
there's a lot going on down there.
Yeah,
But
there is.
Again, just another
That's
way to
just-
try and hook the kids into school.
Absolutely.
And we've captured a lot of the kids that aren't necessarily wanting to be on the athletic side. They
Right.
may or may not be the budding artist, but they've found a niche with how to job interview or how to
Yeah.
the parliamentary procedure thing or whatever else.
Right. So talking about the kids for the academic side, or not the academic, but the athletic side, you guys have had some success lately.
We have.
And so, this last little bit in our conversation, talk to me a little bit about that piece too.
Sure. We are on our own. We're the Oakesdale Nighthawks for
Uh-huh.
volleyball in the fall, basketball in the winter,
Uh-huh.
and then track in the spring.
Okay.
And then for football, we are with Colfax.
Okay.
For baseball and softball, we're with Colfax. And then we now have a middle school wrestler right now with Colfax.
Oh boy.
So
yeah.
those are the sports we couldn't quite pull off on our own.
Sure.
And we had committed to, if our students had an interest, we'd find them a place to play. And Colfax
That's great.
we've worked well with Colfax.
Oh, that's good.
And but our volleyball girls have won 3 state championships in a row.
That's amazing.
I believe of those 3 years, 2 of those have also been academic state championships. And
Impressive.
we have a long run of academic state championships with I think this year's was a 3.97 cumulative GPA on the team.
Not too shabby.
No, not at all.
That's amazing.
And basketball, we've had some good success this year. Our girls made it pretty far into the state tournament last year. And then our girls track team is 2-year state champions.
Oh my gosh.
As teams. And then we
That's
have
amazing.
a lot of individual state finishers. You
Yeah.
know? And I think we had some state academic honors also on that team.
And how cool is it, again, from, you know, the Education 101 standpoint, you know, that academic side is so important. And so it's great to hear that the success the athletes are having is also seeing success in the classroom as well, which is pretty amazing.
Right.
Pretty amazing. And I think that ties right back down to what one of the things we really need to make sure that we give a kudos out to is the adults that you guys have in your building.
Yeah.
I've gotten to work with a lot of them over my career at the ESD, and then your guys' leadership as well. I mean, being able to open it up to be think outside the box a little bit and try some different things and see how they work, but know that what's right for the kids, what's right for, you know, building our future citizens along the way is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
and so
I'm glad you brought that up, because one thing I did want to kind of end everything with was a huge kudos to the staff and the community of Oakesdale. They support the school, they support the kids. If we need something, we get it. You know, we just have dedicated people that are willing to teach and coach and spend hours before and after school and tutoring or helping and going to games, you name it.
It's the old village to raise our kids, you know, and we really need that. Jake, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. District profile. I mean, there are some amazing things out there that we need to make sure that we get out and get the word out about. And Oakesdale School District is a great example of that. So for Education 101 and Spokane Talks Online, we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Education 101 is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksOnline.com, which is solely responsible for its content. Education 101 is brought to you by our friends at STCU. Ask Eric a question, recommend a guest, and hear this program again online anytime at SpokaneTalksOnline.com.